It's of course it's a lot better, talking after win. A lot of good things happened this weekend. Just really pumped up for the player, for our team, and everybody that's has been supportive of us building our program. It takes a signature win like that on the inside, of course, we feel like we've been getting better, but I guess on the outside, as much as anything, it's one thing to be getting better, but to find a way to win a big game and to finish up, the right way in the fourth quarter. So many guys stepped up to the plate. Of course, James kicking the last field goal, but the Devin Witherspoons, getting the guy down to taking the ball away, which should lead me right into Jake Hansen. I think he's gotten a couple of awards, Big Ten Player of the Week and Walter Camp Player of the Week. He just played outstanding football throughout. To take the ball away 7 games and take the ball away 7 times is saying an awful lot. But that's how he's played, been steady throughout. Same thing goes for Dele Harding. Both of those guys have been really solid, giving us linebacker play. Staying on the defensive side, Nate Hobbs played his best game. Hadn't had a chance to make a lot of plays on the ball, but his tackling was really good. And, of course, up front, played well too. Going into that game, of course, their defense hadn't given up a lot of points, so it was a big challenge for our offense, and they really stepped up to the plate. Dre Brown running the football, Reggie Corbin, our offensive line. We had a few injuries, of course, Ricky Smalling going down, but that gave some other players an opportunity too. If you just kind of hang in there, you'll eventually, if you deserve to play, you'll get an opportunity too. So Casey Washington, of course, is one of those guys. But a lot of good things happen, and that's good for that last game. But then you move on quickly. And last year, homecoming out here, we were embarrassed by Purdue. I think 46-7 or something like that. They played well, we didn't. So to get a chance to, hopefully to redeem yourself as much as anything. Just want to keep this, of course, one thing to get one win. Of course, you want to put, stack wins as much as anything. Take your question.
Coach, from your history, when you win a big game, what are the keys to keeping that going, to building on that momentum?
Well, I think whether you win or you lose, you evaluate the video, the things you do well, you highlight those, the improvements you need to make. You really hit those things. That's what we do each week. It's not like we change up our routine, anything like that. I mean, this is Monday. This is game week for Purdue. That game is behind us. So all of our focus, of course, is going forward.
Well, is there a balance between maybe keeping some of that confidence and also turning the pages or middle ground there?
I think all the players know what happened. I mean, good or bad, you move on. It's about the next play. It's about the next game always. I just don't know if you can take something with you. If you're playing good football, and you're improving each week, that should continue if you continue to work on improving, and that's what we're going to do.
It seems like this is the second straight week we're talking about Donnie Navarro, but what has he shown you over the last month that has impressed you?
Well, I think just overall, not just the last month. Donnie has had to earn it the hard way, I'll say. Coming in without a scholarship, and just making people take notice. But if you continue to do things right, you'll get an opportunity. And when you get your opportunity, you have to step up to the plate and perform. And that's exactly what he did. Big play by him. I mean, think about, the feelings he was going through with that. But we'll need him to continue.
You've coached some of the best at taking the ball away, including maybe the best at forcing fumbles in the NFL. Why is Jake Hansen so good at forcing fumbles?
I think in order to have an opportunity to do that, you have to believe it first. You have to buy into taking the ball away. You first have to buy into you can't wait for a turnover. You have to take the ball away and then have that type of effort. First, it's about, we talk about running to the football. Got to get there. First, have an opportunity. And I don't think it's just like how do guys catch the football, how do guys run. I think it's a trait that you have. Jake has that.
Is that something you noticed in Jake when he got here? Have you seen that progress?
That's a long time ago. I know way back then we liked him being on the team, and I've liked him since he's been here. He's shown signs throughout. It's not like he all of a sudden became a good football player. He's been a good football player for a period of time.
What has he meant to this defense just as a whole, and the ability just maybe to bring up morale when he does create a turnover, or overall just for the whole team?
Well, I think guys look at what you do, not necessarily what you say. And Jake shows up on time, ready to go to work. You know what type of effort you're going to get from him always. And if you're also a guy that makes plays, people will take notice. So he's a captain. So he's checking off every box. And so we'll need him to continue to act like a captain and continue to play like one of our best players, continue to play like one of the best players around.
Do you see the move of Tony Adams positionally as permanent, or is that something that you could tinker with matchup per matchup?
We really don't tinker an awful lot. If we make a move, we feel like that's what we need to do going forward. And that was the case with Tony. He's, of course, when you played as many positions as he has, I can see why you would think that. But we thought, based on who we had healthy too, of getting the best 11 guys on the field, that's the best combination, best place for him. And of course, he confirmed it with his play, but it's not like that surprised us either.
Coach, when you moved Jamal Woods to defensive end, open up a spot for Calvin Avery to get more playing time, what did you see from him on Saturday, and how do you feel like he's progressed throughout this year?
You look at every opponent and see exactly what you feel like you need to do as far as personnel placement. Playing a team like Wisconsin, we knew, big linemen coming out, we need to get bigger up front. So that's what allowed us to put Jamal out there and get a little bit more weight inside with Calvin. But, you look at it each week to see what you need to do. But all those guys are part of the rotation. It's just kind of how you tweak that a little bit.
What was it about that matchup, that game, where your run defense had been struggling, just performed that as well as it has?
Well, you're right. Sometimes, when you struggle, you give up a couple big plays and it looks a lot worse than it really is. That's the one thing we didn't do, start off with that. We only had 4 explosive plays against us, and that number has been up there quite a bit. If you eliminate that, most of the time, guys have been in their gaps, playing hard. Can't miss tackles and some of those things. We didn't miss a lot of tackles. And when we did miss tackles this game, of course, we had multiple guys there. Don't know exactly all the reasons why, but guys been practicing hard each week. And eventually, keep pounding the rock, you'll see some positive results.
Totally different offense this week with Purdue. What type of challenges does this team and Jeff Brown kind of present for this defense?
It's like that each week. I mean, you have to go from week to week with what you're gonna see. We're going to see some more teams similar to Wisconsin coming up too. But this week, yes, it's more of a. I don't think they get off the bus running the football. They get off passing it. So it's a different. But that's how they've been. We know them. They know us. For the most part, it's pretty much been the same staffs. But we'll have to stop them, whether all of their players are playing or not. Seemed like last year we were talking about a great freshman that they had, receiver, that was playing outstanding ball. Same thing is happening this year. Be a big challenge for us.
Coach, we talked about changes you made with personnel on defense, but did you make any changes with the play calling or scheme against Wisconsin too?
Yeah, you do that each week, each play. I mean, you call a play that you think will work, that gives us the best chance to have success. Do that throughout the game. Done that every year, every game this year. Continue to do that.
As far as Purdue goes, how much do you use last year's game as motivation? The fact that they came in here and kind of gave it to you a little bit.
It's putting it mildly. Kind of gave it to us a little bit. You use everything, but I don't think you really need a lot to. Seemed like most people assume you got to really motivate the guys to want to do well, to beat a team that, we're playing for the Cannon this week. We have a little bit of history. I don't think we need an awful lot of that, but most of the guys were here. We all witnessed that. We all were part of that. Went through it together. So it had a lasting effect on us, absolutely. And to get a chance, you just want, get a rematch as much as anything. And we're excited about that.
What did you see from Brandon Peters late in the game I know you brought him in here to have that experience, but did you still a lot of that come out Saturday late when you needed him to coach you?
Absolutely. Brandon has seemed like you can make a case for him playing his best ball, you know, and you want that. You have to finish. We talk about finishing strong at quarterback position, and when you're behind, pretty simple. We're going to run the football, but he's going to make some throws, some great throws. That, of course, stepping out of the way of the rush and hitting Bebe on that one, but we've seen that from him quite a few times, and he played good football. You know, the week before we were talking, and it's tough when you don't have your starting quarterback in general. When you get your starting quarterback back out there, it gives the team a boost. Definitely felt like, and that was the case this past week.
You've stressed takeaways since you got here. Have you noticed something about this team that maybe it's clicking and they're getting more of those this year?
I think you just keep things you really believe in. You keep stressing them, keep working on them as much as anything, whether that's tackling, blocking, whatever. That's a part of what we believe in. We'll continue to do it, and hopefully we'll continue to get them out. But as you look at, I mean, what statistics really matter? You know, offensively, explosive plays. We had 14 explosive plays. Defensively and just team-wise, it's been that way since the beginning of time, turnover ratio. So you have to stress it. On the defensive side, you have to stress taking the ball away. That will never change.
We've seen a little more Stanley Green in the last few weeks. What kind of boost does he give defensively for you guys?
He's a big hitter. Yeah, he's an emotional guy. Loves contact, loves playing the game. Again, he's vocal, like everything about him. It hurt us earlier when he wasn't out there. You know, we had some injuries early on, and some, you know, injuries at a few key spots can really knock you off a little bit of your game. And that was the case with us a little bit. But, you know, last couple games, Stanley's been back, and we played better ball.
What did that win mean for you off the field in terms of recruiting and all that kind of things? When you win a game like that, what did it mean beyond just the, you know, guys being excited about playing?
Well, as we talk, yeah, of course, recruiting is a big part of what any program. I mean, that's the lifeline of any program and what you're doing. And for us, we just talk about a different day here. I mean, now it's kind of out there. We have one of the best facilities in the country, and we want to bring in more recruits. Another part of that equation of getting better guys here was us having a better product on the football field. When you beat the number 6 team in the country, that says you have a better product on the football field. So all of this goes to making our program a lot better.
We haven't seen Trayvon Sidney and obviously Ricky left. Would either of those two be considered season-ending?
If they're, we've been hanging out a few days together, right? And when they're season-ending, we'll let you know. And we should be able to tell you some a little bit later on in the week on a few of the guys.
Ricky, Lovie,
On everyone. We should be able to, no, not Ricky just got hurt. We tell you a little bit more about Trayvon at least a little bit later in the week. We'll see as it goes along with Ricky.
Ayo Shagbagno has moved positions a little bit with you. What's he giving you?
It just kind of throws me off when Ayo, what's his last name again? Yeah, you know, so he's Ayo to everybody around here, but keep going.
What's he giving you at defensive end? He seemed to have one of his better games.
You know, he's a versatile player that can do an awful lot. You know, he made his name first off as a special teams guy. He plays hard, he's smart, and he can run. He's one of the stronger players on the team. You have to find a spot for a guy like that. And normally a big linebacker like that, they're defensive ends in our system. And he's played it well. He's made plays throughout, plays hard, good student. You like everything about Ayo.
Like Isaiah Gay's kind of had a turbulent last couple of years here. How nice and important was it to see that good pass rush late in the fourth quarter there that really led to another defensive stop? I
mean, that's what he's capable of doing. You know, he and Bobby Roundtree came in the same time. You know, both of them played good their first games out there. Isaiah hasn't always been, you know, his play hadn't been exactly what we would like for it to be, but we needed an outside pass rusher to step up in situations this past Saturday, and he did. He had some good pass rushes. That's what he's capable of doing. He's bigger, stronger right now. We should start to see a veteran player playing like that each week.
That injury, you expect a bigger role for him?
We're hoping Wale's, you know, back soon, but all of those guys will be in the mix. You know, we play as many, just about every defensive lineman that dresses. There's a big group of them we would like to play, and that won't change this week.
How did your defensive tackles against Wisconsin just kind of set the tone at the line of scrimmage? It seemed like Jamal Milan and Tyler Oliver were disruptive up the middle against them.
Both good football players. Start with that. Ty had his best game so far this year. He's healthy too. You know, Ty fought injuries early on. Jamal Milan is just a good football player. Fought through some injuries throughout the game, but in order to play a team like that, you have to get good play in the interior. Of course, Will linebacker, goes along with that too. But those two guys set the tone. And when Wale went out, they even stepped their game up a little bit more.
You mentioned Bobby a little bit earlier. Were you guys able to share the win with him at all? Talk to him a little bit?
Bobby's with us daily, throughout, involved. Absolutely, he's pumped up, as you can imagine, like everybody associated with the University of Illinois. Absolutely.
The bowl game has been so necessary and so vital for this season. How important does this make this game this weekend, just to get to 4 wins and kind of be back?
Well, it's just about getting 4 wins. I mean, we're not talking about anything else except for that, and it's about, you know, being 1-0 after this weekend. You know, second half of the season, you know, we talked about, you know, 6 games left. So in order to talk about things later on, you need to get the first one. And now we got the first one, we need to get the second one. And all of our talk is just on that. That's enough to keep us occupied right there.
Prepare as if Rondell Moore will play or no?
Assume he's going to play. I assume all of their guys. Until they tell us that someone has a season-ending injury, we assume that this is a week that they would play. That's just our standard policy that we have.
How important is a win like that over Wisconsin, having the fans on the field, just maybe to give the guys just a sense of belief that, you know, you guys can, you know, maybe not just hang with anybody, but actually beat anybody?
Well, I think a couple parts of that question. I think it's great that's a great sight to see. Your students celebrating on the field. That's what college football is all about. We've been waiting to have one of those games where our students have wanted to come out on the field like that. So that part is good, and no more than that.
When you were hired, you came with this "we will win" mantra with Josh. Do you feel like this game could be the turning point in the "we will win" idea?
Yeah, this game was big. It really was. But we've had that same. We haven't changed our approach. We've been working hard behind the scene to win every football game. Come up short a few, but progress is being made. This confirms it to a lot of people that don't see what we're doing each day. We're on the right track. We're going to win a lot of games around here. That was one. We need to win a second one this week. Thank you.